Hi everyone, I hope you are doing good. In this video we're going to learn how to write an email in English. But before doing that, let's discuss some questions. The first question is, how did people communicate in the past? You know, in the past, where people didn't have mobiles or computers. So what they used to communicate was the letter. So the letter is the oldest way that people use to communicate with. So this is the format of a letter. As we see, it's a bit different from the email, although they are similar in many ways. Nowadays, the situation is different. People no longer use letters to communicate with each other because we have computers, the internet, and smartphones. So we use another version or another way, another means to communicate, which is the email. So the email is an electronic version of a letter. So it's an electronic letter. Now to write emails in English, we need to have some few things. Now, the most important thing we have to possess if we want to write emails is the email box. So we should create an email account, because unlike a letter, you can write it just by hand. So it's not necessary to have an email box or an email account. But in the case of emails, we have to create an email account if we want to be able to write emails. Now, why do we write emails after all? Now, people write emails to ask for advice. Now, when we have problems, for example, a big problem, you might send an email to a good friend or to an experienced friend, someone whom you trust. So we can also write an email to congratulate people. When a friend of yours gets married, you can congratulate him through a letter or through an electronic letter, which is the email. Another purpose or reason for writing an email can be inviting someone. An invitation can be sent to a person through an email address. So we can use our email to invite people. Another purpose for writing an email is describing your holiday. You can write an email to describe the place you visited last summer, the people you met, for example, etc. So many things that you enjoy during a holiday. You can describe them to someone, a pen friend, for example. We can also write emails to give information. So if you want to share some information with your friends, you can write an email. Or if someone wants to know more about something or a place that you know very well, you can write him or her an email where you give details and information. And maybe another reason for writing emails is future plans to discuss or to describe or to share to talk about your future plans. For example, what you want to do in 2 years, or what you want to achieve, what are your ambitions, etc. Now, to write an email, we have to respect the format of this type of, this, say, genre of writing. Now, the format of an email is different from the format of an essay or the format of a letter. So each piece of writing has its own characteristics and traits. So we have to write our emails keeping in mind these elements and the format, the layout. Now, the format of a letter is like this. We should always write our sender's email address, so which is your address. If it's you who is going to write the email, you should insert your email address, as we have seen, your name or your full name plus @gmail.com. You should also insert the receiver's email address, the person who is going to receive your email. And another thing is that it's important to include this component or this element, which is the subject, the purpose of your email. Now, your subject should be very short, 1 phrase or 2 phrases. For example, my favorite hobby, or describing my holiday, or asking for information, or giving information. So the subject should be clear and to the point. It should summarize what's the topic of, or the purpose of the email. Now then we move to the body of the email, and in the body of the email we have 5 important things, elements. The first is the salutation. So here you can see the salutation in this part. Now the salutation is the first thing, the first phrase in the email. For example, dear friend, or dear Muhammad, or dear, just dear. It's a dear teacher, dear professor. So dear plus something. So this is the salutation. You salute or you greet someone. Then we move to the opening paragraph. In the opening paragraph, you introduce yourself. If it's the first time you send the email to someone, so you introduce yourself in terms of your name, your country, your profession or occupation. Then you state the purpose of the email. Why are you writing the email? So what's the purpose? Now we'll see an example of an email, and we'll see some expressions to use for this purpose. Now the next paragraph in the email should include the content or the details of the purpose. So for example, the subject of your email is your favorite hobby. So in the content paragraph, you should give details. Why is it your favorite hobby? So here we give more details and more, say, ideas. Now for the first paragraph, it should not be very long. It might be sufficient to write 3 sentences. The same for the content paragraph. It should not be very long. So try to be clear and succinct. So 5 sentences are enough. Now, in the email, you have to include the ending or the closing. It's like a conclusion. In the ending of an email, you have to ask the receiver's opinion, or you have to ask the person to reply. As we'll say, we'll learn some expressions to use in this place. And the last thing we conclude an email with is the wishes plus your name. So wishes, for example, you write best wishes, best regards, take care, yours faithfully. So all these expressions can be used to close the email. Now let's move to a concrete example, to a sample of an email. Now this is an example of an email. As you can see here, we have the sender's email. In this box here, we have the receiver's email, and here we have the subject, leisure activities. So you can notice here it's very short. It's not that long, and it's clear, leisure activities. So the subject or the topic of the purpose of my email is this one, leisure activities. I'm going to talk about leisure activities. Then we move to the body of the email, and we start with the salutation. Dear Ahmed, dear friend. You write anything like this. Then we move to the first paragraph. This is the opening paragraph where the person introduces himself and he states the purpose of the email. For example, the person writes, I'm writing this email to tell you about the leisure activities that I have in England. So this is the opening paragraph. Then the person moved to the content paragraph. So in the content paragraph, we, as we said, give more details, more ideas about the topic, the subject. Look here, there are a lot of after-school clubs here in my high school. I go to a surfing club on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the best entertainment, etc. So these are more details on the subject. And the last paragraph, it's a short paragraph. It's the ending. So here the person asks for a reply, and he asks the person, the receiver, about his opinion, or to share some information about his school or about his country. And the last thing, the last element is the wishes. So we close our email with the wishes. So best regards, best wishes, plus the name. So these are the elements of an email, and this is the format of an email. We have to stick to this format. We have to use these elements properly in order to get a good email. Now, these are some useful expressions we can use either for writing the salutation, opening, ending, or wishes. As you can see here, to write the salutation, you can use the friend, the Ahmed, hi there, or hi. So these are expressions you can use to salute. We can also use these expressions here to open in the opening paragraph. So in the opening paragraph we said that we introduce ourselves and we give the purpose. So here for introduction, for introducing yourself, you can say, my name is, I am from your country, I live in, you include your city, for example, you include your job. Now for giving the purpose, you can write, I am writing this email to. The reason why I am writing this email is to. And you give the reason. Now for the ending, so here you write, please write to me soon. I'm waiting for your reply. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So all these expressions can be used to end the email. And for the wishes, you can say best wishes, regards, take care, etc. So these are some useful expressions you can use in your email. Now let's move to an exercise that I'd like you to do at home. Write an email responding to Robert's email, so responding to the email we have just seen, in which you talk about your free time activities and what you do for fun. So now it's your turn. You reply. You send an email to Robert talking about or giving him information about your country. Now in this email, try to talk about the following. Introduce yourself first. Tell the person about your high school, where you study, and where it is. Now try to describe your school first, then where it is, the location. And you finish with what you do for fun, so the leisure activities you do. So here in this video we have, say, summarize how to write an email. I hope you stick to these elements, to the format of an email. Thank you so much.